Hi, Roy and Jennie here on a new format thing we're going to do where we're going to
Hurrah.
have some bookish chat between us. So,
Yes.
jumping right in, you're going to talk about something you've read.
I'm going to talk about something I'm reading.
Aww.
My current book, which is The Boneshard Daughter by Andrea Stewart. And I think it falls into that marketplace of post-YA
Okay.
fiction.
You mean people who are older than YA?
People who've grown up reading YA
Yeah.
and want similar stuff but with slightly more adult themes is my feeling about it. I think it's like kind of 18 to 25s. So it's fantasy. It's got a sort of faintly Chinesey setting, I think. It's basically set on a group of floating islands, and it's got several different point of view characters, the main one of whom, Lynn, is the Boneshard daughter. So she's the daughter of the emperor of these islands, which is referred to as the Empire, in a magnificent flash of imagination.
Well, better that than like some made-up string of random syllables.
Yeah, I had one of them recently. And it's I'm really enjoying it. Except it does that thing. I don't know, did I talk about this before? If there's something I didn't like.
I don't know.
I may already have said this, but I'm going to say it again. It does that thing. I CBA'd a book for this. CBA, basically, you call that DNF. It's me. CBA can't be asked. Basically, can't be asked to go on reading this. So I CBA'd this book recently because every 2 pages, the writer reminded me of the backstory of the character so that we understood why we were interested in this character. Now, I'm all for a little bit of, just to remind you children, because I've got quite a short memory, but every 2 pages was going the game a bit, really. And this one's got a tendency to do that, but only with 1 or 2 of the point of view characters. So I'm kind of letting it slide and not getting too worried about it at the moment. But I am enjoying it, and I do think it's an interesting setup. And I don't really have any idea of what's going to happen, which is nice. And I'm just under halfway through it at the moment. So yeah, The Boneshard Daughter by Andrea Stewart. It's one of a series, of course it is.
So talking of bones, clever link, we're also listening to Bookshops and Bonedust by Travis Baldree.
Oh yeah.
That is the prequel to Legends and Lattes, which we've had that as well. So these are on Audible.
Yeah.
We really, really, really liked. I mean, we tend to listen together to some kind of cozy fiction on Audible in the mornings. So we were casting around for something, and I'd heard about Legends and Lattes, and that was great. It's read by the author, so thought to know what he's on about.
He's a good reader.
Yeah, so these are fantasy books set in, I suppose the novelty is having things like coffee shops and stuff that, recognisable from our world, but that plausibly work in a fun fantasy setting. They're good.
They're great, and the main character, Viv, she
rules.
She's fantastic.
Still, I was going to talk about something. So, reading-wise, I've been reading Warfall because of a dream. So I dreamt, for some reason, that I wanted to read Bring Up the Bodies, the second book in Hilary Mantel's trilogy of historical novels, and which I've never read, but I have read Warfall. Even in the dream, I was thinking, well, that was a long time ago. that I read the book, so probably need to reread Warfall to get up to speed before charging in to bring up the bodies. So that's what I'm doing. So dream or prophecy. So Warfall, I mean, it's super famous, Booker winner, and it's set in the time of Henry VIII. The whole trilogy revolves around Thomas Cromwell, who rose to power and from being a blacksmith's son became like Henry VIII's right-hand man, doing lots of stuff to do with the religious changes of the time, separating from the Church of Rome and that kind of stuff. So it's funny. I think I'm enjoying it more this time in a sense because I know more of the history, because I've read some history books, and also because a lot of the Henry type Shakespeare plays we watched, they're the previous period.
They've all led up to that.
Yeah. So
I've
got a sense of the setting. I do find the whole, the fact that there was this period when, talking of banned books, when things like Bible in English could get you burned alive. Really interesting. I did hit a wall with it, about 60%. So it's very much a portrait of Thomas Cromwell, and you're getting a lot of his interior life, and a lot of it's in his thoughts and the way he speaks and stuff like that. And after a while, there's this guy who's like omnicompetent. He knows everything about law and business. He's witty. He can outwit anyone. He gets revenge on his enemies by playing the long game. And it's kind of like, yeah, I get that. Here he is again and again.
Moving on.
It keeps happening.
That's why the television series didn't work.
Well,
because most of what happens with the book is going on in Cromwell's head.
Sort of, yeah. I think there's a missing element to it, and so it is a bit like watching scenes from Warfall. Also, it's like, a lot of the book, it's like the manoeuvring to get to the point where Henry can marry Anne Boleyn. And after a while, I think I was more desperate for this marriage to happen than Henry VIII was at the time. It's like, just marry them. But
just what, dear?
I took a little break to read Emma Bennett's new romance book
Woo!
called The Baby Plan. I haven't finished that yet, so we talk about that in the future. Really good, though. So, yes, Warfall. Great stuff. And I plan to get through the whole trilogy. That's a plan for this year.
Has it got a lot of torture in it?
Not on screen,
right. That's good.
No.
Because I read quite a lot of Elizabethan-based murder stories, and there's
always torture.
No, there's always torture in them, and I don't like it. It's horrible.
It sort of doesn't need to. I mean, I'd say it's more like, to some extent, it's the banality of evil.
Yeah.
Because it's the political moves and the self-justification that lead to people being tortured and executed, and how people are like, well, that's the way it has to be.
Yeah.
Which is like, in a way, is kind of more upsetting, really.
Oh God, yeah, absolutely.
Hang on, we've been following these people.
And now you're going to
kind of on side
torture
with them
and execute
and that
them.
means this
No,
has to happen.
don't do that. Yeah. Was Thomas Cromwell any relation at all to Oliver Cromwell?
I don't think so.
No, just happens to be a name.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah, I'm going to quote you now. I'm going to say, Roy says, Thomas Cromwell, Oliver Cromwell. So, anyway, so yeah.
How else from you?
Yeah, I too have been listening to you reading Lord of the Rings for us.
Oh, yeah.
So we recently watched the Lord of the Rings film Director's Cut trilogy again, which we do every couple of years.
Probably,
thereabouts.
Yeah. We did during lockdown, didn't we?
Yeah. And thoroughly enjoyed it, and it's starting to show its age and the things that are wrong with it. So Roy came home with the new copy.
Yet another copy.
Yes, because we haven't got enough already.
I was popping a light up at the moment.
Yeah, don't just let them believe it.
No, it's this one.
Okay, it's that one.
A single volume.
Yeah.
Edition, which I thought would be a good one to read from.
And it's great. I haven't read the book since I was in my 20s.
It was current affairs then.
It was a big deal. So, and having watched the films over and over again, you forget all the fact that a lot of the start of it is kind of rural idyll with a little bit of menace in the background, but it is in the background, both figuratively and literally. They keep seeing
I know
Black
as a
Riders.
teen it got me. I was mired in the first bit. Because you just don't know. You think, is it all going to be like this?
Shortcut to mushrooms.
And it's like a travel book as much as a adventure story, really. But
I'm glad we're having it. Partly because I love you reading to me. And partly,
I'm not sure I'm going to read all the poems and songs.
No, you don't have to.
I'm not singing the songs, that's for sure.
No, I could see if
I enjoy reading it, which is a good sign of a well-written book, really.
I could see if I still got the LP I had of Tolkien singing his own songs that I only never listened to once, and then, no, I'm never listening to that again.
But we haven't got a record player.
I'd spin it on my finger and put a needle in it.
With your one wizard fingernail.
Yeah, that's the deal. Yeah. But I'm finding it most enjoyable to remember all that detail that I haven't read.
It's good though. The pipe smoking's giving me a bit of a sore throat.
That's like when we watch things on television where someone's smoking all the time. It makes me feel sick.
I know.
And I can remember.
I had to go to hospital after that. Good.
Didn't.
Right, well, not really. No. So, how are we doing? Well, I was going to talk about something I've acquired.
Go on then.
So, mergers and acquisitions. I've bought Compact, a paperback novelisation of a BBC soap opera from the early 1960s. And there was 2 more of these. I got the later 2, but only recently now acquired this one. So I'm not sure episodes even still exist, to watch.
Probably not.
So
I'm old enough to have seen it on the telly.
Yeah, so recreating it. So basically it's set in, I'll read you the blurb.
Read.
About this book. What else is it going to be? About this book. In January 1962, the BBC presented the first episode of its television series, Compact. Now well over 10 million viewers, which would be an astonishing level of viewing figures now.
Yeah.
Although there was only one television channel then. Now well over 10 million viewers.
There was the ITV as well.
That early?
Yeah. I think so, yeah.
Have a regular appointment with their TV sets at 7:30 every Tuesday and Thursday evening. Since the series began, they have shared the ups and downs of the magazine and the people who work on it, the anxieties of big business. Will the takeover bid for the magazine succeed? And the uncertainties of young love. Will Sally's final choice be Alec or Ian? In this book, you get the pick of the fun, drama, wit and excitement that occur in the daily lives of Compact staff.
Hooray!
I'll probably read that. You get photo section as well, which is beginning to fall out, unfortunately. So there is...
That's your perfect binding, that is.
The office gossip spreader apparently is this lady. And I love this picture of someone he's written a story. Ruth has written a story and is almost dreading Mark's verdict on it. Brilliant face. And what else was... in a bar, romantic scene. So I might actually read this one, to be honest, if I can get through it before it completely falls apart in my hands. So Compact is my buy o' the week.
Cool.
So that's the obligatory 15 minutes.
15 minutes. Can we stop now?
I think we can stop now.
Do you think we've given them enough value?
Yeah. It's top entertainment.
It's top entertainment. Well, we're entertained. That's the most important thing.
That is absolutely the most important thing. Okay, folks, bye. Back soon with
Bye.
something else.
Rabbits.